I'm LG and this is a TriRiot speed tip. Today's tip is tip number 9. I do whatever I can to protect my goggles. This isn't directly related to transition time, but if you lose your goggles in the swim, it's going to be a pretty horrible swim. If you swim in the middle of the crowd, you're likely to get an elbow in the jaw or kicked in the face. Although this might hurt, the worst part is if you lose your goggles. Now I've got 3 strategies to help prevent this. But first, let me get into something a little more appropriate. Much better. Alright, strategy number 1. If I'm in a big race like an Ironman, I'll take a spare pair of goggles and I'll stick it right here in my wetsuit. That way if I do lose mine, I've got these right here. And they're not in the way, I can still stroke just fine. Strategy number 2 is I always, and I mean always, put my goggles on before my cap. And the reason I do this, as is pretty common, most people would know, is the cap covers the goggle straps. That way, if they do get knocked off, they're not going to go anywhere too easily. The third strategy, and this is something I learned from my friend Bob Gibbons, is to protect my goggles with my arm during the stroke of the swim. So when my arm comes out for the stroke, I keep it close to my head and I leave it there until the other arm can come up and protect the other side. And I just do this the whole swim. Now that way, one side or the other is always protected. So those strategies are, again, spare pair of goggles, goggle straps under the cap, and protect the goggles with the arms. I'm LG, and this has been a TriRiot Speed Tip. See you at the races.